The Deathsawn is a large, mystery-class dragon first introduced in Season 1 of Race to the Edge. Despite being classified as a mystery-class dragon, we actually know quite a bit about Deathsawns, even more so than dragons not in the mystery class, like Light Furies. The classification of the Deathsawn as a mystery-class dragon raises more questions about the mystery class and its function than this video can answer. For the moment, I will say the mystery class is a fitting classification for the Deathsawn. The Deathsawn is a unique dragon in both appearance and abilities. The Deathsawn has 4 legs, but usually stands on its hind limbs, allowing the full spread of its wings to be seen. The wings of the Deathsawn are covered in distinct spots like butterflies and moths, like the European peacock butterflies. Butterflies and moths that have these spots are mimicking the eyes of predators in order to avoid being eaten. Perhaps the Deathsawn has evolved a similar way, though these spots may also serve an additional purpose. When confronting its prey or being attacked by a larger dragon, the Deathsawn flares its wings out. These spots help the dragon to seem larger than it is. The Deathsawn is very long and tall, but it is a lightweight and lanky dragon, and the wings and eye spots help to disguise this fact, especially because the abilities of the Deathsawn are not particularly offensive. The Deathsawn has 2 primary strengths: its Hypnotic Song and its Amber Blasts. The song is alluring to dragons that can hear it and draws them to the Deathsawn's lair. Once within range, the Deathsawn utilizes its amber to trap its prey. These 2 skills are not directly offensive. Deathsawns seem to primarily feed on dragons much smaller than it, and its song renders its prey helpless. Additionally, it is fastened to give significant chase to Toothless, a strike-class dragon, so it doesn't seem to be too far of a stretch to claim that it can outspeed most dragons. Of its abilities, the Amber Blasts are far more useful in combat than that Hypnotic Song. However, the amber isn't infallible, as it can be melted off with high temperatures. It can be reasonably concluded then that such amber attacks would be useless against dragons that radiate strong heat, like a fireworm, or even perhaps a Titan monstrous nightmare. We know for certain that there are 2 species of dragons that are linked to the Deathsawn. The first is the Thunderdrum. Because Thunderdrums have poor hearing, the adults are unaffected by the song of the Deathsawn and are thus able to not be caught, serving as a natural balance. The dragon that is suspected to be a predator to Deathsawns are Slitherwings. Like Thunderdrums, they do not react to the songs of the Deathsawns, and due to the coating of poison on their scales, the amber merely slides off of them instead of encasing the dragon. It's worth noting that a lot of How to Train Your Dragon media places the Deathsawn and the Slitherwing as being a related species, and honestly, I can see the genetic similarities, particularly in the wing shape. That raises the question then of how such radically different species share such a recent common ancestor, especially considering the belief that Slitherwings hunt Deathsawns. The strongest evidence for this claim is in Season 5, Episode 10, where the Slitherwings seem to target Garth in particular over the other dragons present. Speaking of Garth, his appearance in Race to the Edge is why I say we know more about Deathsawns than a lot of other non-mystery class dragons. By observing Garth as a hatchling, we know that Deathsawns don't just use song to lure their prey, but is also their primary form of communication. Garth communicates to Stormfly and his fellow Deathsawns through unique songs. Despite being loners, it appears that Deathsawns will care for their own kind, as evidenced by Garth's adoption by the older Deathsawn. Deathsawns are some of my favorite dragons in the entire DreamWorks Dragons franchise. I love their design, unique abilities, and how much we learn about them. I might be biased because Race to the Edge is one of my favorite TV shows, but I think the series does an excellent job of making the new dragon species introduced feel fleshed out and interconnected, and I think the Deathsawn is a perfect example of these efforts. What is your opinion on the Deathsawn? Should I do a whole video on the mystery class? I want to do one eventually, and depending on the response to this first video, I might move it up the schedule. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be the first to see the next video. And if you want any more content from me that isn't just dragon related, check out my video essay channel where I discuss my other hyperfixations. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next Dragon Deep Dive.